Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off the dishwasher's water supply underneath the sink. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Maytag dishwasher insulation. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new insulation. The insulation wraps around the dishwasher to insulate it. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if it's damaged. This insulation replaces a lot of older part numbers, so you may want to pull your dishwasher out and see what style you have. You may not have to do a lot of the steps in this video. In order to get to the part, we have to pull the dishwasher out, so we're going to go underneath the sink and disconnect the hoses. First thing we're going to do is remove your dishwasher drain line, follow it up to wherever it goes and remove the clamp. We're going to use a 5/16 on ours. Make sure that when you take these off, that you have some towels around. Both the water line and the drain line might put some water out. Next thing we have to do is remove the fill line. It's usually connected to the hot water tap, and of course we already had that shut off and the power disconnected from earlier. But now we need to remove the line, and we can take it off with a 5/8 inch wrench. Now that we have the hoses disconnected, we can open up the dishwasher. Once you have the door open, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws that hold it to the cabinet. Now that we have the screws out, we're going to take out the upper dish rack. We're going to pull these out a little bit so we can take the end caps off. There's little arrows that point to the center of the dishwasher. We're just going to push the end cap that way so it releases, and you can pull it out. The one on the other side comes out the same way. Once you have both end caps off, we can pull the dish rack out and set it aside. Now that we have the upper dish rack out of the way, we can reach in and take the arm out. There's a nut up here against the top of the dishwasher. If it's tight, you can use a small flathead screwdriver to push on it, but you can just unscrew it. It's a regular thread. Counterclockwise to take it off. Once you have it off, we can pull it off and set it aside. Now that we have the spray arm out, we can close the dishwasher door and go down and use the corner nut driver to take out the screws so we can take the access panels off. Once you have all 4 screws out, you can pull the panels off and set them aside. Now that we have the access panels off, we're on the right hand side of the dishwasher. We're going to reach back and take that hose off. We're going to put some towels down to catch any water that may come out. Then we can use a 1/4 nut driver to loosen up the clamp. Once you have the clamp loose, we can pull out the towel. Now we can pull the dishwasher out. We're going to open the door and carefully use it to pull the dishwasher out of the cabinet a little bit. Once you have it started, you can close the door and use the frame to pull it out the rest of the way. Now that we have the dishwasher out, we're going to take the hose off. We're going to lift it out of the cabinet on the top. You want to make sure the seal comes with it. Once you have that out, we can set it down and then go underneath and disconnect it from the pump. To get the lower half off, you just have to pull it out. If it's stuck on the pump, you're going to have to reach in underneath and pull it off the pump. Once you have it free, we can pull the hose off the dishwasher. This insulation takes the place of a lot of older insulations that were totally different. So you're going to have to cut it in order to make it work for your particular dishwasher. On our model, we have to cut it so we have this ventilation clear with about 2 inches above the box. We have to cut the opening for the upper spray arm hose where it goes into the top of the tank and where it goes into the bottom. Your model may or may not have all these openings, but you have to mark what you have and cut it appropriately. Now that we're ready to take the insulation off, we're going to remove the retainer on each side. It's just a little push pin that goes through the frame. So we're just going to get underneath it with a needle nose pliers so we can lift from the back side without damaging it, and then you can work it free. Depending upon your model, these may not be sold anymore. So if you break it, you're going to have to use a zip tie to attach the new insulation to the frame. Once you have this one out, we can go do the one on the other side. Now we can take the insulation off. Ours is the older style of insulation, so it's kind of stuck to the dishwasher due to the age. So I'm going to take a knife and cut along the insulation in the back and get the back loose. Now we're going to pull each side up. You just want to carefully work it off. Once you have this side off, we're just going to continue up and do the top. Once you have it free, you can lift it off the dishwasher, and you want to make sure you clean off any insulation that was left behind before you put the new insulation on. Here's the old insulation next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. To put the new insulation on, we're just going to center it on the dishwasher and set it down. There are these little cutouts that are too wide for our mounting tabs. If you have the narrower brackets, you could hook the insulation over those, but we're just going to lay it down flat and center it on the dishwasher. Once you have it in place, we can put the retaining clips in. As you follow the insulation down, here's the hole for the retainer. We're just going to line it up, and this particular insulation is a little bit too long for our dishwasher, so we're going to cut it right where they made this cut right here. We're just going to cut it straight across. Once you have it cut off, you can pull the insulation down again, and then we're going to take a Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to have to make a hole in the insulation that lines up with the retainer hole. So we're just going to push it through. Once you have the hole in place, you can push the retainer in. Now we can go do the one on the other side. We're going to do the same thing on this side. I want to pull the insulation down so it lines up with the retainer hole. And then we're going to cut off the excess on this side. Once you have it trimmed off, we're going to pull the insulation down again so we can line up the retainer hole. Once you have it lined up, you can take the Phillips screwdriver and push the hole through. And then we can push the retainer in. Once you have the insulation secure, we can make the cutout for the vent on the side. To make the hole for the vent, we're just going to peel the insulation back a little bit, and we have to make a cut right at the bottom of the vent, and then up along the side, and then about 2 inches above, and then we're going to cut it right along here. So we're just basically going to make a box right here so we can cut it up. Once you have the main box cut out, we're going to cut around this shape right here so the insulation sits flat. So we're just going to trace this underneath and cut it out. Once you have the hole cut out for the vent, we can go cut out the 2 holes for the hose. To cut the hole on the top, we're just going to find the center of the hole where the hose goes through, and we'll just take a screwdriver, kind of put a hole right there so we know where it is. Now that we have the hole in the insulation marking the center, we're just gonna put some marks down so we can make like a 2-inch diameter circle. So we're gonna make the marks in the insulation. Doesn't have to be exact. And then on this side, we're gonna draw it out and come down to maybe 3 inches instead of 2. And then that way we can follow it down and make that oval shape for the hose. Once you have the hole cut in the top, we can go cut the one on the bottom. To make the hole in the bottom, we're just gonna make the cutout so the hose will fit through. So we're just gonna find out where the top and the bottom is and mark it, and then just draw a rough oval so we can cut it out. Once you have the hole marked out, we can grab our scissors and cut out the insulation. Once you have it cut out, we can put the hose in. To put the hose on, all you have to do is feed it through the opening. As you're putting the hose in, you want to make sure the clamp is facing forward so we can tighten it down once we have hooked up to the pump. Once you have the lower end in, we can put the upper end in. All you have to do is set it into the opening. Once you have it on, we can go below and make sure that the hose is connected to the pump. To put the hose on the pump, all you have to do is reach in and push it onto the pump fitting. Once you have it all the way on, we can reach in with our 1/4-inch nut driver, tighten down the clamp. Once you have the clamp tightened down, we can put the dishwasher back into the cabinet. First thing we need to do is put the lines back through the cabinet. We want to push the dishwasher in about halfway and then go underneath the sink and pull on the hoses to make sure that they're not kinked or caught on anything underneath. We can push it back into the counter. We can hook back up the lines. So we're going to hook up the water line and use our 5/8" wrench to tighten it down. Then we can hook up the drain line back up to the air gap. All you have to do is push it on and tighten down the clamp using your 5/16" nut driver or screwdriver. Now that we have the lines reconnected, can open up the dishwasher door so we can put the dishwasher back together. To put the spray arm in, we're just going to lift it up into place and tighten it down. You're going to make sure you get it nice and tight so you get a good seal. Once you have the spray arm installed, we can put the upper rack back in. To put the rack back in, we're just going to carefully line up the wheels with the rails and push it back into place. Once you have it in, we're going to pull the rails out a little bit so we can put the end caps on. To snap these back into place, you just have to line them up and push them on, and then snap them over so they lock in. Once you have both end caps on, you can push the rack in the rest of the way, and then we can use a Phillips screwdriver to put in the screws that hold the dishwasher to the cabinet. Now that we have the screws in, we can close the dishwasher door. To put the access panels back on, I'm just going to set the lower one in place. And then we can put the upper one in. Once you have it in place, we can use the 1/4-inch nut driver to put all the screws in. Now that we have the dishwasher put back together, you can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.